Hi, my name is Zach and I'm a software engineer here at Griptape. And today I'm going to be talking about a new feature in Griptape Cloud called Assistants. If you're not already familiar with Griptape Cloud, you can check out our documentation or watch our previous videos going over the core concepts of the cloud, as we'll be utilizing a number of different cloud components today. So, assistants are effectively cloud-hosted Griptape agents. You can read more about agents in the Griptape documentation. Agents are a concept coming from the Griptape framework. But the cool thing about assistants is that, unlike structures, you can deploy an assistant without writing a single line of code. Assistants are dynamically configured agents, and you can define an assistant quickly in the Griptape Cloud UI. So let's go ahead and start off by creating a new assistant that I'm going to name Demo. And that's the only piece of configuration that I actually need to create an assistant. So it just has a name and a unique ID. So if I go over to the Test tab, then I can submit a new assistant run. So this is much like structure runs, and I can provide an input here and kick off the run down here at the bottom. So I've got a new assistant run. I'm on the assistant run details page with information about the run and my input and the assistant's response down here at the bottom. All right, so if I go back to the test tab and take a look at the input field, this input parameter actually matches the behavior of the Griptape framework. So you can actually templatize your input as follows, referencing different arguments. So I'm referencing argument 0, which I'm going to add down here, and I'm going to specify my name as argument 0, kick off another assistant run, and the assistant responds appropriately. So thus far, we've only configured input at the assistant run level, so each run configuring that input. But if we go to the config tab, we can actually set some configuration on the assistant resource itself. So I'm going to assign a knowledge base, the 2024 RAM 3500 knowledge base, and hit update. And if we take a look at that knowledge base, we can see it has a single data source attached to it. And this data source is a Google Drive type data source that contains ingested data from a RAM 3500 owner's manual, which is in my Google Drive here. So if I go back to that demo assistant, to the test tab, I can ask the assistant a question about the contents of that PDF file. So how often should I change oil for diesel? Click run. And now this assistant should be able to make use of the knowledge base to check how often I should change the oil for the diesel truck. And it says every 15,000 miles or every 12 months. And taking a look at the owner's manual, that is correct for the diesel engine. Awesome. So let's add a little bit more configuration to the assistant and make it a bit more personalized. So if I go to edit, I can edit the rule sets for this assistant, and I'm actually going to give it the assistant rule set. And so that is a rule set that exists within my account, and it's got 3 different rules here. So it's got the reference RAM knowledge base rule set, which just says to use the knowledge base when asked about RAM trucks, engines, or similar topics. It's also got the truck driver rule, which says always refer to the user as truck driver or truck driver name. And finally, it has the emoji rule, which states to always use emojis in your response. So if I go back to that assistant and I go to the test tab, and once again I say, hello, my name is Zach, and submit a new run where it has both the knowledge base and the rule sets, I can see in the response that it greets me as truck driver Zach and sprinkles some nice emojis in its response there. So that's great. All right, now finally, I want to configure this assistant with a structure as a tool, and I'm going to specify this date-time structure and hit update. And so if I take a look at this date-time structure, it's a deployed hosted structure in my Griptape Cloud account, and it's just pointing to this Griptape datetime structure repository. And this is essentially just an Griptape framework agent that has this Griptape datetime tool in order to give the agent the context of the current date and time. And by assigning it to my assistant, I now give my assistant the capability to invoke that datetime structure as needed. So if I go back to the test tab, I can once again ask how often should I change oil for diesel. And now this time I'm going to create a new thread called truck talk. And by specifying a thread on the assistant run, what this allows me to do is provide the assistant with conversation memory. So when I invoke this new assistant run, it's going to save my input and the output of the assistant to that thread to be used for conversation memory. So I ask it, how often should I change the oil? It greets me, hey, truck driver, sprinkles some nice emojis, thanks to the rule set. And then once again tells me every 15,000 miles or every 12 months. So if I go back to the test tab for this assistant and once again specify my truck talk thread, and now I want to follow up with another question. So if I change the oil for my diesel truck on April 15, 2023, given that, when should I change it next and submit a new run for the assistant? It should have the conversation history of its previous message where it told me that every 12 months is when the oil would need to be changed for a diesel vehicle. So when I ask it, having changed the oil on April 15, 2023, when should it change it next? It should respond April 15th, 2024 is when I want to change that oil. And so it does, April 15th, 2024. But now we know April 15th is in the past of this year. It's now Thursday, October 31st. So I'm going to go back to the test tab and I'm going to ask, am I overdue for the oil change? And reference that same truck talk thread so it has the context of our conversation. Hit submit. And now the assistant should be able to recognize that April 15th, 2024, or 2024 is in the past. Using the date time tool to confirm what the current date is. And we see, hey, yes, you are overdue for an oil change. You should have changed it by April 15th, 2024. So if I take this run ID, on the right-hand side of the screen, I've got a script, and I'm going to pass that run ID, and this script is just going to print out the events for that assistant run. And events are the same concept coming from the Griptape framework. Assistants have events as well. And what we want to look for in this list of events is just to see that the assistant actually made use of the date time tool, in which we can see right here that it did. It called run structure on that date time tool in order to get the current date. So October 31st, 2024. And that's how the assistant was able to know that April 15, 2024 is in the past. Awesome. So this has been an overview of the new assistants feature and how quickly you can get started configuring your own assistant in Griptape Cloud with different knowledge bases, with your own data that you ingest into the cloud, different rule sets that you define, and any potential structures that your assistant can use as tools. And we did this all with only a Griptape Cloud account. That's all that you need to get started. So please check out our documentation if you have any questions, or reach out to us on the Griptape Discord server, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thanks for watching.